The fields of wheat have disappeared, which is bad news for any future Prime Ministers who may want to be naughty by running through them. So good to be back home, back in the studio, back in the saddle, back practicing at home. I have kept up my practice while I was away. Those of you who saw the 2 vlogs I posted while I was up in the northwest will have seen me practicing soprano. The sad thing is I've come back with an absolutely stinking cold, but I've just got a good solid hour and a half of practicing, which is really, really good because I've been snatching practice so much of the previous week, really trying to make sure I get my tick in the box. But if I'm brutally honest, some of it has literally been a tick box exercise, but I'm really pleased that today has not been that. One of the things I've been looking at, and I was kind of toying with the idea whether I spoke about this today because I haven't got all the extra audio set up, so apologies if the saxophone doesn't sound quite as good as I wanted it to, because I'm just going to use the microphone on the DSLR. All the video you saw was either shot on the Canon G7X or on the iPhone or on the drone, and it's pretty obvious, I hope, which ones were which. In fact, there was only one little clip I shot on the phone, really, to be honest. Most of it was on the G7. So I'm really, really pleased with the performance of that camera. You know, they're not cheap, but I'm glad we took a punt on it, and I'm hoping that it will enable me to produce even better videos for you guys, which means if you are watching this for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button. You know, I welcome all my subscribers. I love all of you. I think you really inspire me to keep making videos, because there's some days, especially today, when I feel like I do with this cold, I really wasn't going to vlog, but I wanted to get through a few things. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, oh, by the way, did you notice in the drone footage then, the fields of wheat have disappeared, which is bad news for any future Prime Ministers who may want to be naughty by running through them. Nick Mayella, who I did the coffee with, who does the excellent 10-minute jazz podcast, if you don't already check Nick out, you should do. He was talking about this in terms of, he was calling it upper structures. I call it triadic pairs, similar kind of thing. You know, you could basically pair the the B minor triad with the C major triad. Even better if I put a backing track behind it very quickly. Just kind of thinking of that minor colour. I call it flip harmony sometimes with students, where you take the tonality of the chords you've got and flip it. So if you've got a major chord, focus on playing minor. If you've got a minor chord, focus on playing major. We do that. We look at all the things you are, ultimately, you know, loads and loads of tunes. You know, just kind of flip the harmony around, just to give yourself some different colours to work with. So that's one of the things I've been looking at. Working through the next chapter lessons for my Cambridge saxophone students on our Coleman Hawkins transcription project. A whole bound of other stuff. As I mentioned, when I was back with my parents, I was able to harvest a great deal of home video footage, including this of me playing soprano when I was 16, I think maybe just 17. More to come on that because I want to get an interview with Chris, who was playing bass on that track. Another home video I found with my parents was this version of me playing Watermelon Man when I was 10. I'd only had my tenor saxophone at that point 6 months, so let's have a listen. Playing sax there is a guy called Bill Barrow, and my dad was on bass, I think, there, and a few others. It was just for some, excuse me, I can't remember what it was from. It was something to do with the canal boats. My dad was kind of into canal boats at the time. If you haven't watched the vlog where I took the kids on the canal boat, that one's up there. But we, you know, for me, it was kind of that difference between me in just 5 or 6 years going from that kid just blasting out Watermelon Man, just playing semi-breeze and not much more, to then having the confidence of Funny Valentine. And not long after that Funny Valentine clip, I was being paid for gigs. Not huge amounts of money, but not far off. And then within another sort of year, 18 months, I was then getting paid professionally and getting professional gigs, taking some of the better gigs in Blackpool. Two things kind of enabled me to do that. One was practice. I did step up my practice from about the age of 14. I did start practicing more, and within that practice was a lot of listening. And I lament the passing of Jazz FM as it was then. They used to have a great thing called Dinner Jazz with Helen Mayhew, which I still remember to this day. And I remember having finished my homework, sometimes just putting that on. And that's how I first got exposed. Well, Coltrane really came through Ray Wilkes, but certainly Miles, Stan Getz, those kind of players. That was the first time I'd ever heard them. Remember, there's no Spotify, there's no YouTube in those days. It was literally what you could find on the radio was what you were able to listen to. And so there was the practice, the listening, and the confidence. And the confidence partly, yes, through personality, but also as well, having older people believing in you and giving you that opportunity to play, which is what Bill did when I was doing that. And likewise, if you watched last night, it wasn't an amazing stream. YouTube is a very annoying place to do live streams from. I think I may have to divert most of them back to Facebook Live again, because Facebook is just such an easier interface. So apologies if you were trying to watch that stream and it was going all over the shop. It's just not easy to set up and go. And I've said this before in other vlogs. For me, things just need to... I can't be spending time doing other things on gigs, so I've got to concentrate on playing. But what I'm getting at there is I was thrilled to give Matthew another opportunity to play. Matt's been one of my students for a long time, and again, I think those two things came through in what Matthew did. Number one, he's practiced, he's listened. A lot of, if you go through my website, Matthew was kind of playing a lot of tunes that we've transcribed. He was able to take bits out of the solos of the great players and then put them into his own solo and then make his own solo out of them. And then confidence. I've let him play with my bands from a very early age. Yes, he nicked some of my licks, and he was kind of like, what the hell am I going to play? Well, that's good for me sometimes. I don't rest on my usual kind of opening phrases, but it was really good that he was able to do that, get up there, play, open his ears and listen. So the moral of the story there is, if you are in position like I am, where you can have jam nights where you're hosting, you're the teacher, or you're trying to inspire others, please do it. Remember those people who gave you the opportunities. Don't necessarily remember the people who didn't. Remember the people who did give you the opportunities, and try and pass that on to others. And the second thing is try and develop confidence within people to get up there and play. It was great that Bev got up and played as well, an adult student. She had the confidence to get up there and play. She needed a bit of persuading, but it was great to get up there and do it, because only by getting up and playing and making music and doing that in front of others and getting over those hurdles will you be able to gain the confidence to be able to get better, to understand. Also as well, I find that when you're in that situation, when the pressure's on, you find out what you don't know. You kind of can really highlight what you do need to practice. But yeah, no, it's really, really good. And I'm forever grateful to Bill, to Ray Wilkes, to all those people who gave me a shot when I was just a teenager. My parents as well, my dad particularly, giving me opportunities to perform in different positions, different places. it wasn't always that great. That Melon Man is not that great. I do not think it is at all. I've got students who are better than I was at 10, but I hadn't been playing 6 months then. So maybe less, actually. So those key things are crucial, and I think listening more than anything is the most important thing. So thank you very much for watching. It's great to be back in the studio. I just wish the British summer would hurry up and arrive. If you've got any questions, I will do a vlog Q&A this week, so please either get them in the comments or hit me on Twitter at Dan Forshaw, and I will see you very, very soon.